You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Okay, here we go. Ice Age 5 is a good movie. Happens every single time. I try to talk about a bad movie in a positive light, and suddenly Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, will attack me because apparently we can't all have different opinions. But, like, it's a good movie. It is a good, well-made movie. And I'm here to explain why. Ice Age 5 is the 5th installment in the Ice Age franchise, and was meant to be the last, but then this little bundle of joy happened in 2022. Thus, we all wish we could get aborted, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So, Ice Age 5. Now, if we want to talk about this, we have to look at the other Ice Age films, and how the quality has always been jumpy, well, in my opinion. First movie, 9 out of 10 masterpiece. I think that the dark tone is very welcomed and is very different from the other films. Ice Age 2, The Meltdown. It's not good, but I wouldn't call it unbearable. It's a decent movie. The animation is definitely much better, but not by much. Even though I think that the animation in the first film adds character, kind of like Hoodwinked. But still, this is not a good film. Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. The funniest Ice Age film. Really funny, has very good animation, and is also very unique from the others due to its plot with dinosaurs. Ice Age 4, Continental Drift. The worst one in the ones made by Blue Sky, in my opinion. It has the same problem. That's what I get for talking about Ice Age 4 in a negative light, because it's the other, yeah. Ice Age 4 out of 10. I give Ice Age 3 an 8 out of 10. I think that this film has the same problem as Madagascar 3, both conveniently released in 2012, where they start off really good and then they fall down, and then they fall down on their faces faster than a person falling off a building. And then there's the fifth one. The one that got the most negative reviews until this one came out. And then, of course, forgotten about. This one, no one remembers. No one remembers any of these. But this one, the only memory people have of the film are negative. But me? I think that this is probably the middleman when it comes to Ice Age. I mean, it kind of isn't anymore because, I mean, with 6 movies, not to be a 3 and 4 because, median and averages, the median you add the 2 and then you subtract it and then you divide it by the other. This is not math class. This is Ice Age 5. This movie that everyone else hates and I, for some reason, think is a good movie. So, why do I think is it a good movie when everyone else thinks it's one of the worst things humanity has ever created? Well, as Animat says, let's discover why. So, let's talk about the plot. Asteroids. And that's the plot. Actually, no, there's a lot more plot than just asteroids, except the asteroid is pretty big. I mean, if you look at the poster, then Kiss Your Ice Goodbye, get it? It's like Kiss Your Ass Goodbye, but this is what's this rated? Look at the poster. That's not close. Jesus, long Wikipedia page. There's a lot of information to talk about. PG. These are rated PG. PG by PG audiences. PG, PG, PG. Nothing but PG. What's it rated PG for? I don't even know what that says. Can I don't know what it says. But anyways, so yeah, this film was rated PG, even though the other films were probably also rated PG as well. I mean, that kind of understandable. But let me explain, okay? So the plot, it's definitely unique. It's very predictable. I mean, if it's a sixth film, then you kind of like, yeah. But it is fairly predictable being having a sequel after this. But I still think that plot is very unique and is different from the others. Very different from the others, like Jesus. It has the same thing with the third film where it's such an out there plot that it just catches you off guard. And also, another positive I have with this film that other people don't appreciate is the animation, which I can't really show because. Sorry, excuse me. Copyright! So I can't really show anything because Disney will shove a bazooka up my ass and then pull the trigger until it goes click. Nobody asked with the Jesus. I have not seen Big Lebowski. I've just seen clips. It's very funny. But yeah, so the animation is really well done as being a Blue Sky film. That's after Ice Age 2. Actually, Robots is pretty well animated. So why does the first two Ice Age movies just look like monkey butt? So yeah, the animation is very well done. I like the backgrounds, the character animation, the character expressions. People say that this is too cartoony even though it's an animated movie. I don't get why a lot of animated movies are trying to be realistic. It's animated. Be an animated movie. Look, if you're going to be cartoony, at least look good. I mean, look at Clayton with the Meatballs. That film, I know one particular critic that says that the cartoony style is very, very annoying. Literally everyone else thinks it's the biggest strength of the film. Actually, no, the biggest strength of Claddy is the characters. But, this is not the topic of today's. This is not the subject of today's explanation of my cancellation on Twitter because I like a bad movie. So, yeah, the animation, well done. What about the characters? Too many. I mean, if you look at the cast of this film, oh boy, that's a lot of people. Manny, Sid, Diego, Julian, Shangri-Lama, Roger, Brooke, Gavin, Peaches, Crash and Nettie, Buck, Granny, Shira, Ellie, Gertie, Neil DeBuck, Weasel, Bubble and Misty, Teddy, Francine, Scrass, Sneezy, Lumpy, Grouchy, Doc, Dancer, Prancer, Comic Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen. Everyone's here. The whole gang's here. Even literally everyone here. You know those like fake posters where there's like multiple characters on them. One of the SpongeBob. This is that. Everyone's here. Everyone's here to see the asteroid come down to Earth. And in other cases, like with the fourth film, I welcome the asteroid. I welcome it to come down and blow the film to shreds. Actually, not the fourth film. This film. This abomination. How is that this film gets all the slack and hate and destruction, and this film gets off scot-free? I don't get it. But yeah, I understand why people would not like this film because of the characters, because yeah, there's a lot of them. And they don't really do a lot with the characters. I mean, yeah, they have arcs, but they're very short. And this film is 94 minutes, including the credits, because they're obviously essential. So there's lots of side plots, and I think it's a little bit much for this film to handle. I think if this film was like 90 minutes longer, if it was 2 hours and 4 minutes, then maybe we could have done a little bit more. But we can't have an anime film be 2 hours, let alone a kids animated film. Which, probably wondering, why me, a teenage critic from Ireland, talking about a kids film? I don't know. So yeah, I just have to explain myself about why I think this is a good film. So yeah, the characters, a lot of them, but another thing people don't like about this film is the humor, the comedy, el comedio. Yeah, people don't find this film funny. When I first watched it when I was 8, I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Now I realize that the third film's the funniest. The first film's the darkest. The second and fourth and sixth films have no meaning whatsoever, and then this one is just middle. There are a lot of bad jokes. Yeah, I mean obviously when watching a kids film, a big warning you have to have is that a lot of the humor is either very immature or just not funny. But there is a lot of humor that I think is very good in this film, which I think my taste of film is literally dived down to hell at this point, because I think that 2x2 is a good film. 2x2, you know, a foreign animated film for kids that I watched when I was 7 and I thought was a good movie back then. I think it's a good movie now. Yeah. I understand if you don't like me. So, yeah, there are a few good jokes here, like the salami joke. It'll make a lot more sense if you actually watch the film. That sounds very bad. So, yeah, comedy is very mixed. There's lots of characters, and a lot of them don't serve any purpose, but I think the characters are somewhat likable, except Julian. I like Julian. And Manny and Ellie have this thing where they're trying to keep their daughter Peaches and her fiance Julian here in the valley, or wherever it's called. I don't know what this place is called. I guess the Ice Age land, but then again, this takes place during the Ice Age, so I don't know what that means. It takes place on Earth. Just Earth. Earth. Boom. Done. So, yeah. Basically, some characters are likable, some characters are annoying, some characters are not funny, some characters are funny, some characters actually serve a purpose, other characters are just there to pat at the runtime in terms of comedy. The characters are very mixed, and so is the comedy, but I think the animation and the idea for the plot are very well done. The execution of the plot, on the other hand, is a bit... However, I do think that the score is pretty well done as well, being a John Debney film. What else did this guy compose? Well, he's composed a lot of films. He's composed Jetson, Hocus Pocus, Disney Mickey Mouse cartoon, Liar. He composed Liar Liar, Inspector Gadget, Cats and Dogs, Snow Dogs, The Scorpion King, Spy Kids 2, and what? Venom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's not the Venom from Spider-Man. I'm just gonna take a leap of faith here. So, yeah. I think that the score of this film was very well done. It's sort of funny. And the animation is pretty to look at. I like the idea for the plot. But I think the abundance of characters, a lot of bad humor, and the predictable plot can drag this film down a bit. So I think that I still give this film a 7 out of 10. Once again, my opinion. This is my opinion. I think that this film is a good movie. Will you stop shooting me, X? Yeah, so, anyways, yeah, so, like what you want, I don't care, just don't attack others first. That's the message of this video. I've gotta fix a lot of holes in my walls. Goodbye, and have your own opinion that this film is good.